There are playoff games, and then there is Game 7. And that's what we've got an hour from now. Orlando and Detroit. NBA Tip-Off is presented by AT&T from Studio J in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson with Shaq and Kenny and Chuck, three guys who have all played Game 7s. Do you ever try to say, hey, this is just like any other game? Or is that even possible to do in a Game 7?
I think it's impossible to do, and it depends on the circumstances. You know, the word I think about when I think about Orlando Magic is overcome. Can you overcome missing 27 out of 28? Can you overcome being up 3-1 and now it's tied? Can you forget about all that stuff and say, okay, today is a day I need to play the perfect game and play? A lot of emotions go when you play through a Game 7. Obviously,
something special in those words, Game 7, Chuck.
Yeah, it's a little stressful. It's very stressful. It's a long, and it was really early, and everybody always tried a lot. Shaq is 100% right. It's not a normal game because your season's going to end. Somebody's season's going to end. You know, I always tell people, man, basketball, you look at like, you lift all those weights, do all that sprint work, and play all those games, and then tomorrow somebody's going to wake up and like, damn, it's over. But one team's going to move forward, but it's really stressful.
A stressful environment. But at the same time, you have to trust your work. And if you look at the last game in Game 6, a closeout game for Orlando is very similar. They didn't trust their work. I don't care how good a defensive team is playing. When you miss 27 out of 28 shots, the moment is just too big for you. It has nothing to do because you're a pro, and as a pro, the one thing you can do is you can make tough shots. So 27 out of 28, somebody can make more than one tough shot. So that means the moment was too big, and they cannot let this moment of Game 7 be too big for them again today.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, well,
they had a 24-point lead.
The moment, Chuck.
I think the hardest.
You missed 27 out of 28 shots.
They had a 24-point lead, so the moment wasn't too big. I think the one thing you have to always, like, man, you got to kill people. Like, when you got a 24-point lead, they just let up. Mm-hmm. And then and I've been in that situation before, when you got a big lead, instead of putting your foot on their neck, you're like, okay, we got this. And then it's down to 17. Yeah. You're like, okay, we still got this.
And Ernie, one thing I hate as a fan is when you do not adjust. After you miss 10 shots, somebody got to say, hey, man, don't shoot another three, Kenny. You shoot another three and punch in your face. Put it on the floor, go to the hole, get it.
But the thing is, Shaq, somebody must have said it, and they went to the hole and still missed layups.
I mean, but get fouled.
I looked at a bunch of that game. They were just still jacking up threes.
Yeah, well, we have much more to talk about on this game, but first, the Magic hope history won't repeat itself today in Detroit. 23 years ago, after leading the series 3-1, the Magic dropped Game 7 in Detroit by 15. They led this series 3-1, but on Friday night, chance to close it out at home, they collapsed. A 19-point second half, they missed 23 straight shots. That did them in. So Detroit, the #1 seed in the East, comes back home with a chance to advance. Lisa Salters will be working the sidelines. She has been patiently waiting for us to throw to her, and now it's done. Lisa, what you got ahead of Game 7?
Hey, Ernie. Well, I've been waiting and just listening to what you guys were talking about, and you're absolutely right. For the Magic, it's what Shaquille was talking about earlier in his comments, and Jamal Mosley said it after the game the other night. He said the focus of this Game 7 is going to be just as much mental as it is tactical. Think about it. For the last 36 hours, the Magic have been hearing about how they didn't get it done at home in Orlando and about how historic their collapse was. So in addition to any adjustments that they're going to make on the court, they've got to figure out things in between their ears to figure out just how to put that last game behind them. Jamal Mosley said, we got to wash it, we got to learn from it, and go get Game 7 and do it the hard way. But how do you do that? I asked Paolo Banchero that very question when he arrived here to the arena about an hour ago, and he said, quote, you can't go back and change the last game. It stings, but it all goes away if we go out and get a win tonight. So that's the Magic's mindset, that one win this afternoon, and all that other stuff goes away. And they come into this building with some confidence, knowing that they've had success here. They won Game 1 here in Detroit in this building, so they're confident that they can come in here and get Game 7. Ernie?
Thank you very much, Lisa. In fact, went wire to wire in Game 1, winning 112-101. What makes you chuckle?
That don't mean nothing. Game 1 was like a month ago. Listen, man, Detroit got all the momentum. I think Detroit will win today, but talk about what they did in Game 1. Man, they've lost 2 games in a row. The momentum is 100% with the Pistons. But to talk about they feel confident because they won at Detroit.
Well, you're looking for something to feel good about going into this game, aren't you? You can't just come in with your tail between your legs.
You can't, but your tail is between your legs because you blew a 24-point lead at home and you missed 27 out of 28 shots. Ernie, I'm going to tell you something. I've been in these situations many times. Man, when you got a chance to close them out, you got to close them out. Orlando's going to regret this all offseason. They have a 24-point lead at home. Now, I do agree this is all about mental, but the momentum and mental is with Detroit. Detroit, like, man, we were dead and gone, and now we got a chance to win this thing.
If I'm Paolo Banchero, I'm looking at each player and say, win your position today. I'm coming out and I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. Wendell, I need you to get some rebounds. Bane, I need you to hit some threes. All we have to do is win this game. He makes a great point. If you win this game, it all goes away. You know, Chuck brought up the word pressure. A lot of pressure is correct, because if you lose, there's going to be a lot of stories. There's going to be a lot of different stories. You blew the 24-point lead. You choked. You did this 27 years ago when T-Mac looked in the camera and was like, it's over. All that has come back to haunt you. All you have to do is win. So, again, if I'm Paolo, I'm coming in and say, hey, baby, it's time to go to work today. Forget all that stuff. Just win your position today. Do what you're supposed to do. I'm coming out. And I need him to get close to that 45 again.
24, 9, and 6 is what he's averaging. Again, no Franz Wagner for Orlando. That makes things tough. Meantime, on the Detroit side, Cade Cunningham, last 2, has absolutely willed and carried this team to a tie in the series.
100%. You know, it's all about perspective. I was interested to see what perspective Shaq would take, what perspective Chuck would take. The only perspective that I can really speak to and have some accuracy is being down 3-1, being on a team that was down 3-1 twice and come back to win the series. So I'm looking at it from my perspective is the Detroit Pistons. We have done what we're supposed to do. And now we have the ability to not have to change everything that we do. We don't have to change our game plan because we've had success in the last 2 games. And when we had our biggest success, it was in the biggest moment, in the closeout game. And for me, I always say the series doesn't start until a team is faced with elimination. All of that winning at home and when you're faced with elimination, that's when you look to your right and you look at it and you realize who these men are. And you are seeing who the Detroit Pistons are. Their confidence is sky high. They were like, let's just get it home. That's what we were saying when I was on teams like that. Let's just get it home, and there's no way they're going to beat us at our place.
Most sensible people, when they talk about it, they said the series doesn't start till you lose a home game. That's what everybody says. Because that gives you a chance to close out at home. They had their chance. You know, Shaq talked about Paolo. Paolo was 4 for 20. There's no way if he should have been saying before Game 6, I cannot let this thing go back to Detroit because we're not going to win Game 7. So this is.
You don't think 20 shots is trying to do that and just didn't happen?
Yeah, but it don't matter. He didn't make that.
Yeah, but I'm saying he didn't make it, but he tried it.
You can't go 4 for 20 in a closeout game at home. At home,
4 for 20 and 0 for 9 from deep.
You can't do that.
So we look forward to a moment to savor in Toronto, but you don't have long to dwell on that because you got a Game 7 coming up today in Cleveland. Game will be played tonight. Home team has won every game. They've both scored 669 points. They're both shooting 47%. Wow. 5 more field goals for Toronto. Cavs have 5 more rebounds. Cleveland's one decided advantage in this series so far has been from the three-point line where they're plus 48, but Toronto's owning the other categories. I don't know if there is momentum. You say like there is momentum in the other series. Is there anything that Toronto carries over after a win like that into Cleveland?
Oh, without question. they realize that if the Cavaliers are a top seed, but they're right behind them. They're right behind them. There's momentum knowing that we have a future. We're playing this well without two guys who started for us. Brandon Ingram hasn't really played, and then Emmanuel quickly.
Yeah.
So Shed has come into there and really stepped up, done a great job. Andre Barrett is becoming an all-star light.
RJ, yeah.
And there's two guys in this playoffs, in my estimation, that were a star, but now becoming the star. And that's Maxey in Philadelphia and Barnes in Toronto. They're becoming the star of the NBA instead of a star.
What do you see in Cleveland, where the Cavs have won all 10 playoff games against Toronto in their history?
I see a little bit of disappointment. Let me explain why. I've played with guys that came in the locker room and said, I'm going crazy today. Penny Hardaway, late great Kobe Bryant, D-Wade, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. At times, I've been the guy that say, I'm going crazy today. I need big games from James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, period. Superior games. You know, I always think about when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar couldn't play in the finals and Magic said, hey, I'll play the center. And what he did, the numbers that he put up. I need big games from it. Let's end this. You guys are better players. Yeah, they have Scotty Barnes and all that, but you know, it's high praise for Cleveland. Like, I need you guys to have some superstar.
So you think?
Not record. No. Hold on. Donovan Mitchell and James is a guy that can give me one spectacular game.
Do you think that they're better players at this point in their career than Scotty Barnes?
Yes.
You know how I feel about Scotty Barnes.
That's why I was going to ask.
But Donovan Mitchell should be better.
Thank you.
First of all,
one big game.
I was watching that game the other night, and it was just I thought I was back at March Madness, a regular old Duke game. Just give it the ball. Watch y'all passing that ball. They got to foul you. I'm like, what the hell? What are y'all doing? Why are y'all dribbling? Just hold the ball, get fouled. Because that's exactly what happened in the Duke game. If you go back and look, like, dude, why are y'all passing this ball when the kid from Connecticut hit the big three? But, Shaq, you're 100% correct. I am so disgusted at these Cavs.
Thank you.
Like, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell.
Can't get 40.
Mobley, and Jared Allen.
Tripping, Kenny.
You guys, I don't think any guys had a signature game yet.
Thank you.
Mitchell had a couple of 30-point games in games 1 and 2, but he hasn't scored 25 in the next 4.
So I'm sitting here saying, this is the team that I picked to go to the finals, and I'm saying, everything's working out perfectly for them. You're going to have a great matchup next round because Detroit can't score if they get past Orlando, which I think they will. We got the best players. We got James and Donovan. Like, listen, you know how I feel about Scotty Barnes, okay? I think he's one of the 10 best players, 10, 15 best players in the NBA. But James and Donovan should be the next 2 best players in that series. No disrespect to R.J. Barrett. Donovan Mitchell and James would be, if we were having a draft, they would probably go 2-3 after Scotty Barnes, in my opinion. But Jared Allen and Mobley have not played well.
Kenny, tell me what happened on that key turnover that led to the R.J. Barrett game-winning shot. Dennis Schroeder. Okay, here you go. 18 seconds to go.
18 seconds to go, you know.
And there's 17 seconds to go on the shot clock. Just hold the ball and get fouled.
You know you have to get fouled. So
what are you doing?
Thing you want to do is stay
and then why is Mobley standing on the damn sideline?
Okay, well, there is. Charles is saying what happened.
Come on, man. Why are you standing there like a dummy?
Well, right now,
what?
I'm just saying there's ample opportunity to get rid of the ball. He thought he was going to get fouled. Actually, I thought he did at one time. And you stay away from sidelines, you stay away from traps, and you stay in the middle of the floor.
I like your commentary better, Chuck. Do it again.
Thank you, man. Come on, Pan.
You stay in the middle of the floor. You said you
they got to fire you.
Do it again,
so
Chuck.
Shooter right there did a great job. Say, let me stay. There should be freeze it here. There should be someone who splashes to the middle of the floor. That is the reason. If you freeze it right here, freeze it right there.
What is
the
James
middle
doing?
of the floor is where the flash should come. It should be from the corner, the left side corner, and I think that I can't see who that is over here. In the left side. No.
What?
Mobley's there, and then the other
Donovan,
corner.
that's Donovan.
No.
Strus.
Strus should be flashing to the middle of the floor. That is how you you don't want to trap areas or the corners and the sides. So if you splash to the middle, the game's over.
No, there was a lot of standing around watching Dennis Schroeder.
Just splash to the middle of the floor. You stay at it. So that's it. But that happens. But you guys are saying that these guys are the best two players.
They are. You know they are.
I disagree with that. I think that
You didn't even like Scotty Barnes. I've been telling you.
I didn't like him. You put him top 5 player in the league.
No,
I don't like him.
I think he's top 15.
This is the time when there's a passing of the torch.
So Scotty Barnes can get you. So Scotty Barnes can get you 40 before James and
R.J. Barrett
Cannot. You're right, Shaq. You're 100% right.
This
tripping.
When we come back, got a story on Duncan Robinson you've got to see.
It's an amazing story. I'm so glad you're going to talk about that. I had wrote myself a note because I didn't know they were going to show that. I said Duncan Robinson, ESPN. Because I was watching that story the other night, and I was like, man, we need to talk about that. But I didn't know we were going to show it again, man. That was tough to watch. It was painful. It was sad. And I'm happy they're going to try to find some positive about it, man. But, man, you never know what people are going through. You just never know. And we live in a world where everybody's got an opinion on everything. Everybody, mean-spirited with the internet and life. But you just never know what people are going through, man. So just at least try to be better.
Yeah, you look at professional athletes and you think it's all peaches and cream, especially if they have big contracts. Oh, he got it made, but Chuck said it correctly. You never know what a person's going through. I never knew that. Kudos to him for talking about it. I probably wouldn't have talked about that. I probably would have kept that to myself. But, kudos to him and his family for talking about it.
Yeah, and I think at times even, Chuck, you've mentioned your personal experiences like that. I think what it does is it humanizes everyone and lets them know that how someone else handles a struggle. And I think sometimes, and Shaq, you would have your own option to say I want to speak it out or not. But I think at times when people like yourself or Chuck has spoken about this before, it gives people a strength that they might not have known they had. And that's what Duncan is doing now. In a time of his lack of strength possibilities, he's trying to give someone else strength to maybe that's going through something similar in substance abuse, mental issues, that only he can speak from an infantry point of view. So he's in the trenches. He's not looking at it from the top of a building and from a bird's eye. He's in the infantry, and he's giving people hope.
It was interesting about his sister, who's I think she's a mental counselor, and she talked about studies show now if you start using pot younger, you can develop this stuff. And what's going to be really interesting about that going forward, you can get pot pretty much everywhere now. I'm not a pot person myself, and I don't judge other people, but if we're going to find out that smoking pot is going to do something to your brain and put you in a bad situation, man, we're going to have a serious epidemic going forward in this country.
First off, I salute Duncan Robinson
and his mom and dad and sister.
The entire family for being so candid on that. And it was tough for me to watch because I've been there.
Dude, I was watching that the other night, and I was like, I was trying to get ready to watch the game, and they're like, we got a piece to show you. And I was like, whoa. Yeah, that's tough, man. Especially, obviously, I've been through it before. And, man, it sucks for your entire family because even when you're struggling, the people around you are greatly affected. And, and obviously you see from Duncan, but you see his mom and dad and sister. It's tough, man.
And our family's been down this road. Mm-hmm. And I have always said I would much prefer a physical ailment, and I've had a few, but you know how you're going to treat that.
Yeah.
And you kind of put your head down and go. But I had a sister with mental health issues. And it was the most frustrating thing because you couldn't get to the bottom of it. And she eventually took her own life. And so for me to watch this and see what Duncan Robinson's going through, man, it rang true. We'll be back.
Led by LeBron. Let's see if they can pull it off.
And we're underway in Houston. Feed up the floor to James. Bullet feed. Hachimura puts it down. Wow. The ball was hopping. Reeves spin against the grain, and he lays it in. That was creative. The Lakers have come out on fire. James, like a locomotive. LeBron James. He is timeless. My gosh. The Lakers advance. They get it done in 6 games over the Rockets.
Game over. Series over.
Tremendous all-around effort by the Los Angeles Lakers. Moving on to the conference semifinals to meet the defending champion, Oklahoma City Thunder.
The reason that our team is winning is because we're a team, because every single guy has contributed to winning. To get to this point, to be able to win a playoff series and close out a team on the road, I'm proud of everybody in this room. All right, we play Tuesday. Let's go.
Close it out the way we did, especially. Next is OKC. Got to go in there and battle. Yeah, we'll be ready.
So the conference semifinals in the West are set with the Lakers at OKC and with Minnesota at San Antonio. Meantime, Philadelphia last night bouncing the New York Knicks in a Game 7, advancing to meet the Knicks, who suddenly became the home team. They got home court advantage in that Eastern Conference semifinal series against the Sixers. So with the conference semis starting tomorrow, we bring in Shams Charania, who joins us and is always loaded with information. Shams, great to see you. So tell me about the Lakers. Tell me about Luka. Tell me if he's going to be available against OKC, where you cannot afford to be shorthanded.
Ernie, I'm told right now Luka Doncic will be out to start the series against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Lakers are evaluating Doncic on a week-to-week basis with that grade 2 hamstring strain. So he's missed about a month right now. One source told me in the last few days it's still a slow path on Doncic's recovery. He's doing more and more on the court, but right now still not full-fledged running or full contact workouts.
Okay, how about Anthony Edwards' situation? Again, Minnesota, again, needing all hands on deck against San Antonio. What's Ant's situation?
So, Ernie, Anthony Edwards is a little bit in a different place. He is also expected to be out to start this second-round series against San Antonio, so he'll be missing Game 1, likely Game 2 as well. But he did get his first workouts in on Saturday and Sunday after missing about a week now with that hyperextension bone bruise in his knee. And he also traveled with the team to San Antonio. So there's optimism around team sources about his status overall. And I'm told Anthony Edwards himself is hopeful that he could push to be back in the lineup, potentially Game 3 or Game 4 at the earliest. It's really just going to be about how he feels, how his rehab goes on a daily basis here this upcoming week. Minnesota is going to be conservative with him because, remember, he has also been dealing with runner's knee in his opposite knee, his right knee, for the last month plus.
As the team Minnesota knocked out the Denver Nuggets, what's the fallout from that series?
Yeah, there's a summer of question for the Denver Nuggets. Let's start with a couple of them. David Adelman, their head coach, he is going to be back. His job is safe. The second order of business for the Nuggets this offseason is securing a long-term commitment from Nikola Jokic. He's eligible for a contract extension, 4 years, $290 million plus. The expectation on both sides is Nikola Jokic will be signing that when he's eligible in July, and they're going to move forward. But beyond that, there's going to be real roster changes coming to Denver to identify how they can surround Nikola Jokic with the right pieces to get this team over the top. Nikola Jokic said after that series loss against Minnesota, we're far away. We just lost in the first round. So they're going to get calls and listen to calls on everyone on the roster besides Nikola Jokic.
Shams Charania, as always, great stuff. Appreciate the time, man.
Thanks.
We will take a break. You have a quizzical look on your face.
I need a break when I